It's no surprise that online trolling is a big issue for many public figures, and Ashley Judd is one of them. She's actually planning on going after those trollers, or trollers, after they went after her because of her comments on a game. Now, she was watching a basketball game, college basketball game, and she had something kind of nasty to say about Arkansas. She actually tweeted to them during the game and said the following: "Dirty play can kiss my team's free throw making ass. Bloodied 3 players so far." Now, as you guys know, when it comes to issues like politics or sports, people lose their shit if you say something that they disagree with. So, of course, the Twitter trolls started rolling in, and they said some pretty terrible things to her. Well, she was not pleased about it, so she started retweeting some of the more abusive tweets, and I'll give you a few examples of that. One person said, "What the hell do you even do, you stuck-up cunt? What are you famous for again?" I mean, there should have been a question mark there, but no big deal. We all got what he meant, right?
I think that was the smallest problem in his tweet.
Yeah.
So a couple of things here already. For those of you who don't know, Ashley Judd's from Kentucky. She loves the Wildcats. Mm-hmm. She often talks about them. And so that's why she's passionate about that game.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean you get to call her the C word, right? But they feel like it's the internet. It doesn't really matter. I can say anything I want. It could be the most terrible thing in the world, and I could say it. And now here she is saying, no, that's not really true, and I'm going to fight back.
So let me give you one more example, and then I'll tell you exactly how she's planning on fighting back. Another person had tweeted to her, "Go suck on Cal's 2-inch dick, you bitch whore." Okay, all right. I mean, it's interesting because these are harsh tweets, but I'm desensitized to them. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, of course you're gonna get tweets like that. You know, it's like what you expect online. Now, she is not pleased with it, and some of the tweets she believes are even more abusive and threatening. And so as a result, she went on the Today Show and she talked about them in greater detail and what she plans to do to combat them. Take a look.
Everyone needs to take personal responsibility for what they write and not allowing this misinterpretation and shaming culture on social media to persist. Well, and by the way, I'm pressing charges.
So right there, she says that she's planning on forwarding all of these abusive tweets to her lawyers and to prosecutors and actually go after these people. Now, I want to hear what you have to say about this because I think it's an interesting tactic and I think it's also a bad one.
Well, that's interesting. So, first of all, I sometimes do the first part of what she did, retweet some of the angry tweets towards me. And believe me, I've gotten things as bad, and much, much worse than the 2 tweets that we just read. I love to retweet the ironic ones. Like, oh, you know, you're bigoted against Jews, you goddamn Muslim. I think you might want to check yourself. All right, and I'm giving a very mild example there, and all the fat-ass terrorists, you know, you're the worst, and yada, yada, and I'm coming for you, right? And not like, hey, kidding around political, I'm coming for you, but I know where you live, right? So if she's pressing charges on these tweets, I wouldn't go in that direction. Of course, you're going to invite a lot more trolls.
Right.
There's no question about that. But if there's actionable, tweets where they had specific threats, then I view that as a different category.
Right, so if there are tweets that are inciting violence, right? So there are issues with people who share personal information of other individuals in an attempt to either intimidate them or incite violence. It's like, hey, look, I got this person's phone number, I have this person's address, I know where they live, I'm now gonna make this public through Twitter or some other public forum, and everybody go out and get this person. That's inciting violence. And so if it's possible to track those people down and prosecute, I think that makes sense. So we have no idea how we're gonna track these people down, so I'm curious to see how this goes. That said, Ashley Judd has resources that people like us don't have. So I'm curious to see how this plays out, because if I wanted to prosecute, it would be much more difficult. I don't have the public clout or the financial resources necessary to go after these people. She does.
Yeah, I'm amused by the idea that I tell the Today Show, hey, there's been some mean tweets about me. And they'll be like, oh, come on, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Do you plan on pressing charges?
So, yes, she certainly has clout in that sense in the mainstream press. Okay, look, I don't know. I think I've become numb to it. And so I kind of like that she's fighting back, whether we agree with the specifics or not, because I've had so many threats of violence against me. I hope you die. I'm going to kill you. Et cetera, that I don't really view it as much of a big deal. I mean, the insults, they roll off my back so quick. I mean, thousands of insults, more than you could possibly count. There's some chance if you include YouTube, I might be up to 1 million insults, like significant insults that...
A day?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, I would only take action if it was, okay, specific about here's how I'm going to do this kind of violence to you, right? But we shouldn't be used to it. And somebody should fight back and say, hey, listen, man, once you go on the internet, that doesn't mean that you get to let go of your humanity and act like an animal and spook people who are not used to it, right? And so I commend her for fighting back. I don't know if pressing charges is the right way to do it, but let's see what becomes of it. At least someone started the fight or started to fight back.
So there's an interesting trend now among specifically female celebrities. A lot of them have decided to either deactivate their Twitter accounts or just not look at it altogether. They don't look at their mentions. So Iggy Azalea is one of them. Lena Dunham has decided that she's no longer gonna look at these mentions. She says, I deleted Twitter because I'm trying to create a safer space for myself emotionally, right? And I totally feel her. Like at first with me, I'm just gonna share my personal opinion on it. With YouTube, I mean, a long time ago, years ago, I was like, I'm never reading these comments again, right? And I never do. If I ever do decide to read them, I just lose faith in humanity and I get discouraged with my job. It's now a virus that has bled into Twitter as well. I don't check my mentions on Twitter. I actually deleted Twitter off my phone. I don't check it at all.
Wow.
I'm done with Twitter. Sorry.
Wow.
It's that simple. I actually despise Twitter.
So now here's the problem. Okay, I don't agree with that, but I check it fairly regularly. I enjoy that platform. The problem is I really want to hear from you guys.
I do too.
In my case, it's really important for me to keep track of your reaction to the show. Positive, negative, it doesn't matter, right? In fact, the negative is more relevant. Like if we've done something wrong, we've misstated a fact, or you think we're headed in the wrong direction as a matter of principle. Those things matter to me. And we get about 1,600 comments on average on our YouTube videos, right? So I can't read all 1,600, but I like to browse through and I like to see what people are saying. The same thing for Twitter, right? And the trolls ruin it for everybody else. They're like that idiot guy who aggressively goes up to women and says stupid shit until women get scared of all guys and shut off and start putting up defense mechanisms. And that's what trolls are en masse for the internet. They ruin it for everybody by being so aggressive and so outrageous that people put up walls, understandably so, and then you ruin the communication that the internet is great for.